What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be talking about Nano Dimension, ticker symbol NNDM. They have a pretty substantial catalyst coming up towards the end of this week that if you are a Nano Dimension shareholder, you definitely need to keep a lookout for. This could send the stock going a lot higher or a lot lower after this catalyst and the information that is going to be announced at this event. We also have Cathie Wood making some remarks about Nano Dimension over this past week. So we definitely need to look at what she has been saying about this company. So before we get into all of that information, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So looking at the chart of Nano Dimension, we can see that its highs were in the $17 range, and it is trading more than 50% off of those highs. So Nano Dimension had a very significant sell-off when the overall market was having its correction. Now, this sell-off on NNDM was more than we saw for some of the other hyper-growth stocks that we talk about on this channel. But if you were bullish on the 3D printing sector and Nano Dimension as a whole, this is an amazing dip to buy. Now, nothing I say in these videos is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. These are for educational and entertainment purposes only. But if you have some cash lying around and you think that you should average down on your Nano Dimension position, I think this is a great time to do so. Now, we did see a bounce in Nano Dimension yesterday. The stock did go up 4.5% on the day and was up an additional almost 3% after hours. So Nano Dimension does look like it might turn around, but we are going to have to wait and see throughout the end of this week and next week to see if we are out of the woods on this stock as of yet. Now, when we go over and take a look at Cathie Wood's statements, she mentioned something very interesting about Nano Dimension and kind of gave us some insight into why she likes Nano Dimension so much and why she's been putting so much capital into this company. So coming over here, we can see that ARK Funds CEO and founder Cathie Wood joined Benzinga's Raz report last week and discussed the history of ARK Funds. Wood also shared some of the reasons why ARK Funds owns several positions. So originally, Nano Dimension, it used to call itself a 3D printed circuit board company. Now, Nano Dimension has broadened the view of itself into a 3D printed technology device company. So this could be wearable electronics, semiconductors, and other things like that. So one of the most important things about Nano Dimension's story is their contracts they are winning from defense agencies. This is what I was referring to in my previous statement. This gives us insight into why Cathie Wood likes Nano Dimension so much. Defense basically has an unlimited budget in a lot of different countries. Any government agency is going to do everything they can to ensure that their defense is up to standard. And Cathie Wood says we are always on the lookout for where the defense is putting their money. Now, Nano Dimension already has some defense contracts, which is a very good sign, but I think we could see that expand a lot over the next year or two once Nano Dimension's target market and business starts to open up again and they're able to make more sales. Now, we've also seen Nano Dimension come out and say that they are planning on releasing the next generation Dragonfly product, and the CEO has said that they're going to be releasing this product when there is a market for it, suggesting that at the current time, their target market is not really in the market for the next Dragonfly LDM 3D printer, but they are expecting this to occur around the third quarter of 2021. Now, moving on to the catalyst that is going to be taking place at the end of this week. If we come over here, we can see that Nano Dimension's earnings date is projected to be on March 11th, 2021. I've seen this across a couple of different brokerages, so we can expect Nano Dimension to come out and report their earnings on March 11th. We should still look out for an actual statement from Nano Dimension that could suggest that their earnings is not going to be on March 11th. Now, it's possible that it'll be not this week, but the next week. But at the current time, it looks like March 11th is going to be the date. So coming over here, we're going to give some of my predictions and what I am expecting and need to see out of Nano Dimension in order to further my conviction on this company. So right now, we do have a preview into their earnings. So on a preliminary basis, Nano Dimension reported unaudited revenue of approximately $3.4 million for the year ended December 31st, 2020, approximately $990 million of cash reserves. That number is now different as of today. They have about $1.5 billion of cash, which they are planning on using the majority of that for acquisitions, which we will cover how they are going to do that a little bit later in this video. So the above information reflects preliminary estimates with respect to certain results of Nano Dimension for the year ended December 31st, 2020, based on currently available information. But because this audit is not yet complete, the actual numbers that Nano Dimension reports on their earnings date could be slightly different. And the CEO had some very positive remarks about these numbers. So as I have commented in our quarterly results conference calls since May 2020, as well as in presentations to dozens of new investors during the 8 capital raising transactions totaling $1 billion since May 2020, the pandemic affected the sales of our Dragonfly LDM systems in 2020. In fact, I stated publicly that revenue in 2020 could be close to zero. Therefore, I am pleased with our results. Now, the majority of the machines that Nano Dimension sold in 2020 came in the fourth quarter. So their fourth quarter numbers could be a bit inflated when you compare them to the other quarters, which we will most likely see them do in their earnings call. They also have this new business model called Nanos, where it's a recurring revenue model that their customers subscribe to. And when basically what happens is that they provide the ink and all of the equipment that you need to operate the Dragonfly LDM systems. A couple of other things that the CEO remarked on is that there was a large number of upgrades of the older Dragonfly Pro into our next generation system, the 24/7 Dragonfly LDM. Revenue boosted by our recurring revenue model, which I have just described, which includes the selling of dielectric and conductive materials, inks used by the Dragonfly LDM for 3D printing, strong initial sales of our new Nano services of proof of concept prototyping printing of high PEDs. Now, recurring revenues from customers with annual services and support agreements. And there's just a lot of other great things going on with this company as well. But the CEO still harps on the fact that their business is being constrained strongly by the effects of the pandemic. So we're definitely gonna hear about that in the conference call, in my opinion. But here are some of the things that we need to hear, in my opinion, at this conference call. So the first is going to be acquisitions. So the biggest thing is the acquisition. So they have about $1.5 billion of cash on their balance sheet right now. And as I've gone over in my previous NNDM videos, there's 2 types of businesses that they want to acquire. One, they want to buy essentially a distribution chain. So they're going to try to acquire a company that is going to allow them to get their products into the hands of the consumers that need it. Now, the second type of company is going to be the type that has technology and is going to be able to help Nano Dimension take the Dragonfly LDM system to the next level. So the only things that we have really seen out of Nano Dimension that suggest that they are actively working on acquiring a new company is this article right here. So Nano Dimension engages Carl Square for European acquisition search, and this was on February 2nd. So it's been a long time since we have seen Nano Dimension come out with any news about their acquisition. We have seen a couple of interviews with the CEO that have suggested and given us more insight into who they are looking for, but I want them to specifically mention exactly what they are doing during their conference call. I am hoping that they announce an actual acquisition in their conference call, which long term, that will be great for Nano Dimension, but we could see a short-term dip in the share price. That's just what happens when companies acquire other companies. The market typically doesn't react great to it, but if you're a long-term Nano Dimension shareholder, this is very bullish news for a 5 to 10 year investment horizon, because the company that they are acquiring is going to be able to significantly boost the way that they do their business and in turn boost the revenue, which would increase shareholder value. So coming back over to the chart of Nano Dimension, again, we are seeing a significant sell-off, but if you are a long-term bull on Nano Dimension, this shouldn't really bother you. I mean, it is a very significant sell-off, but if you were able to get into Nano Dimension around the time that we first started talking about this stock, you are taking a very small loss on your share position right now, and this is a great time to add to your position. Now, again, none of this is financial advice. You guys can do whatever you want with your investment account, but I'm just trying to point out to you that if you are a bull on Nano Dimension for the long term and the 3D printing industry as a whole, this is an absolute gift. When Nano Dimension was trading above $15, I don't think anybody thought that we were going to see Nano Dimension go below even $12 in the near future unless some sort of massive, terrible news came out about the company. Now, we haven't seen any of that. This has just been an overall sell-off. Now, if Nano Dimension was the only company that was selling off so much like this, and there was bad news coming out about it every single day, then that would be the time that you would need to rethink your conviction. But we are not seeing that with Nano Dimension or any of the other hyper growth stocks that we are talking about on this channel. So in short, we do have some great remarks from Cathie Wood, and we do have a big catalyst that is supposed to happen towards the end of this week. So that is going to be it for this update on Nano Dimension. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go down and leave a like and hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So I hope you guys are having a very profitable day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.